Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And in today's video, we continue Jujutsu Kaisen, The Spider's Curse. What if Miles Morales was Sukuna's vessel? Season 1, Part 2. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. As we go into part 2 of this series, I want you all to pay close attention to some key details that you'll be seeing all throughout the story. This world is about to take a turn as we expand the universe once again. Now, a few of you guys have been wondering if the Spider-Man that you saw in the original poster for the upcoming Spider-Verse were going to be the only Spider-Man that you see. Well, I can assure you, you'll be seeing plenty of other Spider-Man in the near future. A lot closer than you might think, and from unexpected places. So remember, keep your eyes peeled and keep an open mind, because you never know what's to come as we dive deeper into the world of cursed techniques and cursed spirits in Jujutsu Kaisen, The Spider's Curse. What if Miles Morales was Sukuna's vessel? Season 1, Part 2. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. On a rainy day in July, Miles, Nobara, Yuji, and Megumi arrived to the West Tokyo City Juvenile Detention Center. As they arrived to the scene, they had been driven there by Jichi, the assistant director of the Tokyo Jujutsu Metropolitan Tech High School. They arrived because of an unusual disturbance, an emergency, that being of an unnamed apparition that had appeared in the sky suddenly, potentially a special grade curse. Unfortunately, Gojo Sensei was not with them, mainly because of his duties and of the position that he held. He could not stay in one place for too long, as he was often needed in many places across the world. The 4 first-year students that had been summoned there saw that the scene of the crime could only lead to something much more gruesome. There were those that were worried about the detainees, among them being a mother who asked about the whereabouts of her son, who, along with 4 others, hadn't been recovered. The authorities weren't going to go inside, and given the special needs to the situation, it was why the 4 first years were called in the first place. They were warned that their only goal in this mission was to evaluate this potential special grade and to do any evacuation. Fighting was not to be their main focus, mainly because, as first years, if they were truly going up against a special grade curse, that level of power was not something they were ready for. Megumi would lead the charge inside using his shadow demon dogs. As the dog led the way, all 4 of them would walk inside, each one unsure of what to expect or what was to come. As they made their way, they would soon find that the inside of the building was a lot more bigger than how it appeared on the outside, even with the veil that had been cast by Jichi. It was then that Megumi realized that what they were dealing with was an innate domain, or an incomplete domain expansion. For now, they would have to be on guard, seeing as how what they were dealing with was definitely a potential special grade. As they made their way through the corridors and the halls, Yuji would spot something. The half-torn body of one of the juveniles. The boy, in specific, was the one that was called out by his mother on the outside, a boy named Tadashi. "Guys," Yuji would say, We should at least try to take the body with us. That way the mother can bury her son and she can give him a proper, at least, funeral. We can't do that, Megumi would say. Of course, Miles had his own sentiments about the matter. He remembered the day that he watched his own funeral from a distance, his mother and father crying profusely at the sight of his gravestone, his mother crying out and wishing that she could have at least have had the body. Could she at least have been able to bury her son? If anything, Miles understood greatly the need for that closure, a closure that she may never get. Of course, Megumi was not prepared to take the body with them, and even more so, he had no intentions on coming back for it, as Yuji and Megumi would get in each other's face. How could you say that, Megumi? That woman, she cares for... I know. You may not realize this, but there are bigger things to worry about than just burying a body. Everyone deserves a proper death. Well, whether you like it or not everyone in this world gets to have a proper death, Yuji. I read his file. Do you even know why he's in here? He's in here because he drove a car without a license and he killed a little girl. And that was his second offense. To be honest, even if any of them were still alive, I never had any intentions on saving them in the first place. Then what are we even doing here? Yuji would yell. Why are we even doing any of this if we're not going to save anyone? If we can't save the people that actually need us, then what the hell is the point? The point is that we exorcise the curses. We stop them from killing anyone else. To be honest, he's lucky that this is how he met his fate, because there are a lot more far worse than this. Yuji wanted to yell again, but Miles would stop him. Carefully, he used his webbing to web up the body into a cocoon, creating it sort of like a large backpack of sorts that was technically a body, as he slung it over his shoulders. I can carry it like this, Megumi, so there's no need to worry. It won't slow us down and it won't get in the way. It's not pretty. In fact, she'll be horrified, but at the very least, Megumi didn't say any more. He understood why, and he wanted to apologize for what he had said. He knew that if this affected anyone, it would definitely affect Miles. As they continued their search, though, things would take a turn, as Nobara would seemingly disappear. And as for the three boys, they would be left with the special grade. It was a weird humanoid amalgamation with multiple eyes, with claw-like talons, and a body that squirmed and moved unnaturally. The special grade curse would attack the three, usually attempting to use the blade known as Slaughter Demon to cut it, only to lose his hand in the process. Miles would use his webbing to web up the hand that had been severed, along with using the webs to tie up Yuji's wrist to not lose blood, as Yuji would take hold of his hand. It's alright. Your hand isn't lost yet. It can be saved. We need to find Nobara and get out of here, Megumi would say. This thing's a special grade. We don't stand a chance against it. However, that was easier said than done. Even if they wanted to escape, the special grade wasn't going to allow them, unless one of them could take the lead in distracting it. Both Yuji and Megumi contemplated what they would do next. However, Yuji would be given the large webbed-up sack that was carried on Miles' arms. Here, take this. Find Nobara and get to the surface as fast as you can. Wait, Miles, Yuji would say. We can't just leave you by yourself. This isn't up for debate, guys. Yuji, you're in no condition to fight the way that you are now. Megumi, You've got the best chance of getting everyone up to the surface and out of here. Don't be so reckless, Megumi would say. Even at your current skill level, you're not strong enough to face a special grade either, even with the spider's curse. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm gonna use him. Like hell you are. I don't have to be used for your whims, boy. As far as I'm concerned, I don't give a damn if you die here. Even if some of my fingers go with you, I'll still have more of me left out there in the world. If that was the crutch of your plan, then I'm afraid you're surely mistaken. Don't worry about me, Miles would say. I'll be okay. Yuji, you get that boy back to his mother. Megumi, you get everyone out of here. Use one of your shadow summons and give me a signal. I just have to hold out till then, right? I can handle it. With a final head nod, the two would leave, leaving Miles alone with the special grade. Well, time to see just how strong I truly am. Let's go. Megumi and Yuji would eventually find Nobara as they made their way to the surface. Once they made sure that no one else was left, Megumi would give the signal. In the meantime, Miles was not doing so well. Even with 6 months worth of training, even with the aid of the cursed spider giving him strength and power, it still wasn't enough against the special grade. It tore through his webbing like it was nothing more but paper, throwing him around like a rag doll, firing off pure, cursed energy, not even using Jujutsu. Miles found his left hand being utterly useless, the fingers being burnt to the nubs. His other arm was barely hanging on. As he stood up bleeding, the only thing he could think about in that moment was everything he had been through. When Peter died, when Gojo found him, when he became Sukuna's vessel, seeing his parents crying over his gravestone. He thought about why he was doing all of this. I did this to protect them. Did you do it to protect them, Miles? Own inner conscience asked. Or did you do it because you felt guilty? No, I did it to help people. You did it to help yourself. We know the truth. You can't fool yourself. You're doing this because of your own guilt. If it wasn't for you, Peter wouldn't have died. If it wasn't for you, Sukuna wouldn't have been revived. All of this is your fault. And you think that throwing your life away for some people you just met is going to make you suddenly altruistic? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. You'll never live up to that legacy. He was a true hero. You're just a wannabe that can't even fill his shoes. No! But it's the truth. It's not the truth! Because of you, your parents suffered. I didn't mean for it to happen! Tell me, what about Uncle Aaron? Shut up, shut up, shut up! It's not my fault! I've been trying my best. I don't want it to end here. I thought I could do it, but I can't. I don't want to die. As the special grade made its charge towards Miles, it would be stopped in its tracks as its arm would be severed before it would be kicked off. The black spider mask that Miles adorned when he used his powers had dissipated, and now only his face remained, with two other eyes aligning the sides of his face, along with the dark black markings, his nails growing into black claws. as he looked towards the special grade. So, that bastard managed to get me out after all. Damn you. What? Why are you looking at me like that, ugly? I don't have any intentions on fighting you. I'd just be doing his work for him, and I am no one's pawn. But I could turn this to my favor. If we teamed up, we could easily kill all of those weaklings on the surface. Yeah, that's much better. And then I could get my hands on that sweet, sweet mommy of his. I could really get some fun out of her. Maybe I'll make the dad watch. That sounds amusing. Oh well. Time to hit the road. Come on. The special grade, however, would attempt to attack Sukuna. Sukuna, with his senses now enhanced using the power of the cursed spider, would immediately flip over the special grade before grabbing it by the face as he slammed it to the ground. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're just a preemie. You're not a real cursed spirit. You're no better than the humans. You go around with your little cursed spirit power and your little jujutsu, but you don't really know how to use it. You know, the humans consider both of us special grade. I would say you should feel honored, but really, I'm just insulted. I'm insulted that they would dare to compare the likes of you to someone like me. But, let's try it out though. Let's see how much of a special grade you really are. Domain expansion. Malevolent shrine. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're just a preemie. You're not a real cursed spirit. You're no better than the humans. You go around with your little cursed spirit power and your little jujutsu, but you don't really know how to use it. You know, the humans consider both of us special grade. I would say you should feel honored, but really, I'm just insulted. I'm insulted that they would dare to compare the likes of you to someone like me. But, let's try it out though. Let's see how much of a special grade you really are. Domain expansion. Malevolent shrine. In one fell swoop, the special grade would be destroyed. Sukuna thought he was holding back, but to see the damage he had done when he thought that, well damn, he was more impressive than he gave himself credit for. Alright kid, you got what you wanted. Now switch back RA. Hello? Hey kid, are you gonna keep me waiting? Hello? Earth to Miles. Can the Miles Morales come out to play? No? Oh well. Don't worry. You've probably had a hard day. I'll make sure you get your sleep. And in the meantime, Uncle Sukuna is gonna go pay your friends a visit. While Yuji and Nobara would be rushed to the hospital, Megumi would wait outside of the correctional facility, waiting for Miles to get out. It should have been over with by now. If there weren't any complications, he should be arriving any moment. And if worse came to worse, he would be the one to put him down. However, a cold shiver would run down his spine as he felt a hand resting on his shoulder. What the? Patience, boy, patience. You sent the other boy and that girl off. Gotta say, you really do think ahead. Now, just take it all in. You know, live in the moment. Relax. Breathe a little. And just what the hell are you doing? First, I'm gonna eat this finger. Yummy. What was I thinking about? Oh yeah. First, I'm gonna eat this finger. Second, we're gonna make small talk. Then third, I'm gonna beat your ass all across this city. Then I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna kill your friends. If you have family, I'm gonna kill your family. If your family has family, I'll kill that family too. Oh, if all your family's dead for some reason, don't worry about that. I'll make sure that the closest friend or next of kin can get it too. Family pets aren't excluded in this deal. Then, I'm gonna go overseas, and I'm gonna find this boy's mama. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get with that mama. I'll switch back though. I'll make sure I give him enough time to see all of my nifty work before I take back over. I can just envision it now. In fact, he'll probably have such a shocked look on his face, he won't even be able to scream. Can't you imagine it? Can you? Come on, tell me you can imagine it. The look on this poor little shit's face when I have his mom strewn up against the... That's enough out of you. You talk high and mighty for someone who's not gonna live to see tomorrow. You end here, Sukuna. I'm going to be the one to exorcise you. Is that right? Coming from the boy who's shaking like a stripper trying to work her way through college. Don't quit your day job. You look like you need every yen you can get. But I love the gusto, kid. So why don't we use all this open space? Hold on though. Sukuna reached into his chest, pulling out the heart of Miles Morales as he threw it to the ground. Megumi cursed under his breath. If Sukuna had done that, then it meant that Megumi's play wasn't going to work. And even worse, if Miles tried to switch back now, it would only result in him dying. To call what happened next one-sided would be a very, very big understatement. I wish I could tell you that the fight was competitive. I wish I could tell you that the fight was close. I wish I could tell you that Megumi truly gave it his all, and in the end, he did just enough to overcome the enemy in front of him. No, that's not even close to what happened. What happened was a severe beatdown, which resulted in Sukuna destroying most of Megumi's Ishigami, as well as throwing him through multiple buildings, to the point where he was lying in a pool of his own blood and on top of broken and crushed rubble, as Sukuna landed in front of him. You know, before you die, there's something that's been bugging me. Given your ability and technique, why did you run back there? I think you have more power than you're giving yourself credit. Although in the end, I guess it really doesn't matter now, does it? Miles, Megumi would say. I'm sorry about before. What I said was really insensitive to you and to Yuji. Truthfully, out of all the people I've met, you're one of the few that I can say that I genuinely respect. I'm sorry that it had to come to this. Megumi watched, though, as the markings of Sukuna would recede, as Miles, who had now regained his consciousness, You were about to use your life energy, weren't you? Guess I can't fool you, huh? Hey, I may only have been 6 months into this thing, but I was able to learn a thing or two. Do me a favor. Reach out your hand, okay? Megumi would do so as Miles took it. With this, I leave my oath that I should pass down the spider to you. May the new web spin, and may it guard you. Wait, what? With that, Megumi could feel a sharp, burning pain searing through his body as he felt down to his chest. As he lifted his shirt, he could see it, the mark of the spider bearing itself onto him. Miles, what did you... I can't let the power die with me now, can I? Fushiguro, I didn't know you for long, but you were really cool. Honestly, I knew I wasn't cut out for this, but I did my best. And now, I leave it to you guys. Give Yuji and Nobara my regards. Also, make sure my folks are alright. And with that, Miles would collapse in Megumi's arm. It was on a day in July of 2018 in West Tokyo City at a juvenile detention center. An unknown apparition, potentially a special grade, appeared outside of the juvenile courtyard around 1 p.m. In spite of the emergency, 4 Jujutsu Tech first years were dispatched to the scene, and one of them, his name being Miles Morales, died. Yuji was able to get his hand reattached, and thankfully there was no permanent damage, save for the scar that remained. However, for Yuji, Nobara, and Megumi, they were all left to reflect on Miles' death. Even though they hadn't known him for too long, he truly was like a friend to them. And what was worse, their friend died, and there was nothing that they could ultimately do about it. Of course, they could just sit around and wallow, or they could instead vow to never go through something like that again. They would also meet with the second-year students, a girl named Maki Zenin, a boy named Togi, who had to speak using the recipe for rice balls because of his ability being cursed speech, and a large panda named Panda. They had come to give their condolences, save for Maki, who wasn't aware of the situation, and to tell them about the upcoming Kyoto Sister School event, a battle between the two major Jujutsu schools, one that they attended in Tokyo, and the other one that was in Kyoto. Of course, the three had no idea about this upcoming event, but it was going to be a big 2-day competition between the two schools, and they were being offered the chance to participate. Normally, first years don't really get involved, but there was a situation with the third years, and they all got kind of suspended. We don't talk about it. And in other words, they were invited. For Fushiguro, he now had a new power he had to master. On top of having the power of the Shinigami, he now had the power of the cursed spider. He would try to live up to those who had held it before him, that being in Peter Parker and Miles Morales. As of now, Fushiguro was the one and only Spider-Man. But put a caveat in that. Because you see, the funny thing about death is that you have a way of rebounding in the oddest of circumstances. It's 1 in a million. Under any other circumstance, there are situations where you shouldn't come back from. You all know those moments in your life. That moment when you're left dead to rights. When you know you should suffer the worst of fates, but almost as if a guardian angel were watching over your shoulders. As if some higher force in the universe in that moment granted you clemency. You find yourself coming out of the other side of something that should have been the death of you. And well, let's just say a certain Spider-Man finds himself in that predicament. As he looked up to the malevolent shrine, 2 individuals whose lives were now interwoven with one another, like a web that once strung together can never be undone. The 2 individuals looked at one another. Miles Morales, we need to talk. This concludes Jujutsu Kaisen, The Spider's Curse. What if Miles Morales was Sukuna's vessel? Season 1, Part 2. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue Konosuba and the Adventures of Spider-Ham. What if Kazuma was Spider-Ham? Season 1, Part 2. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.